Hello out there on the Freedom Shift. I am Janet Clark and I am here with John Bender. And we are on part 2 of the SOS for Coaches, which is the sales outsourcing strategy. So just as a quick review, I am the CEO of the Freedom Shift and also I'm here with John Bender. Oh man, I got to turn that off. Hold on a minute, guys. Part 2 of the SOS for Coaches. All right. Sorry about that. One of these days I'll figure out my technology strategy. All right, so I'm Janet, not that great at technology, founder of the Freedom Shift and also the High Ticket Sales Alliance program. So one of the things that I do is match up high ticket salespeople with coaches who are at the point where they are drowning in sales leads and ready to take on a high ticket sales expert. And John is with Opus Global Services. Which is a staffing firm, which will be producing all of these great salespeople and working. John will be managing them. John's background is he was vice president of Nightingale Conant. He has run $450 million in high ticket sales through his platforms, and he is amazing at systems and details and whatever with his engineering background. And John, I probably bunged that a little, but you have so many things I could say about you that I'm talking fast.
You gave me 100 million more than credit. It's actually 350, but close enough for government work, right? So
it's 350 million. I thought it was 450 million. Whatever. We got about another 100 million we're going to generate this year.
Oh gosh.
All right. So here we are. So what is this that we're talking about, right? We're addressing coaches right now who are looking to get some help with their sales. And the 3 things that we have seen that you need to have in place in order to be able to outsource your sales to an expert salesperson who you're not going to burn out, right? Because these salespeople work on commission. And in order for them to stay in the game, you need to be able to provide them with a solid program that you're selling. You need to be able to provide them with quality leads. And then obviously we need to match you up with that salesperson. So in our last segment, we talked about the program itself, what needs to be in a highly transformational high ticket program. And we talked about the fact that you really need to make it, promise big and then deliver bigger in the program. So in this section, part 2, we're really going to be talking about the funnel, like how you get your leads and prospects so that they're ready to buy into your high ticket program. And this is really John's area of expertise more than mine. So I'm going to shift it over to him.
Thank you, Janet. Appreciate that. And hey, everybody, glad to be with you. And we're going to share some things I hope can be great value to you. If you just hang with us for the next, say, 10, 15 minutes, we'll walk you through exactly how you want to think about things to be able to, we call it sales preparedness with the 3 Ps. If you remember last time we talked about the 3 Ps, kind of left you kind of wondering what the heck is the 3 Ps, and we're going to talk about that today. But, let's face it, guys, right now we are inundated with so much content, so much media bombarding us. It's become this ubiquitous noise out there, this hum. And in addition to being noticed, with the right messaging, with something new, fresh that people haven't heard before, that's arresting, alarming, exciting, that's offering this emotional, compelling message and intellectually interesting and all that good stuff, we really have to come back to the concept of value. Because the only place right now that money precedes values in the dictionary, here in 2018, at the time that we're doing this, you have to demonstrate power. You have to demonstrate value up front, because this is what separates you from everyone else out there, is that you're giving first and then you're getting second. So I think we know that intrinsically, but just as a reminder. So we've created the three Ps to kind of help guide you through that process and to also be able to make your life a lot easier, because after all, who wants to be the richest coach or consultant in the graveyard? In other words, you're making all this money, but you've killed yourself, you've killed your family, you've killed your friends, you've killed your health getting there. Nobody. And this is a common practice that people get to the place where they finally start getting success and they hate it because they don't have a life anymore. Essentially, they're alive, but they're dead. So we don't want you to have to make that mistake. So how do you get there? So the first P is called preview. We want to be able to provide an environment where people can preview the value and what you're sharing and what you've learned in your expertise and your knowledge base. Facebook groups, of course, have become a very popular place to do that. Not only can you share as the group leader, but you can begin to exchange with other people and have guest speakers and other people that have similar content be able to offer that value. So the preview is where you're going to onboard people at no cost. And so they really appreciate because you keep getting value, and they're like, gosh, this person keeps giving me so much. I feel like I need to kind of pay them. Now, they don't really think that, like in the back, like I want to write them a check, but they're starting to realize that the score is you 1,000 and them like 5. So this idea of reciprocity is a human emotion that people want to participate in. This is why when somebody gives you a flag in the airport, you feel like, oh man, I got to give them $1 or something. You're not going to throw it down. But so this is the human law of reciprocity, very important. Now, the second P is being able to take people to a paid level. Now, a lot of coaches tend to have a traditional model where they're going to take somebody through a webinar, web class, master class, whatever, and then take them to an application process and then take them into some kind of discovery or some kind of preview strategy session, what have you. And again, the problem with that, it's death rattle. The reason why is a lot of those people haven't been pre-qualified. They really aren't certain. And the kind of people that you're going to deal with that you happen to get are going to be a lot of prima donnas that you're going to just absolutely just loathe after you get a whole slew of these people. And you're like, okay, the money's good, but I really don't like where I'm at right now. So the paid level is a level where you provide more of an automated platform, where it's a series of videos, a series of training. Maybe it's a weekly Q&A that you get together. And you use the webinar to essentially onboard people to this paid level. Now, there's a couple different ways to do that. The first is to recognize the purpose of a webinar or webcast is not to educate. It is to sell. You're actually, number one, selling them this shift in opportunity or possibility of where they can go in the transformation. And then you're dealing with their internal and external struggles. And then it's in that process they go through where they're understanding, okay, here's a person who had this struggle like you, here's what they found, and then here's what happened. For example, this person, and in that process, they understand, they come to their own realization that, hey, wow, I could maybe not just this works, but this will work for me. Hey, this doesn't just work, but it will work with my external constraints. So when you deal with those issues, you begin to get people into that paid level. Now, the two ways to do that are to get them into a monthly program where they're putting down a larger amount of money up front, say $2,500, and then a payment per month. The other way to do it is you go with a higher payment per month, but you romance a program that you put together that they want, that's a $2,000 to $3,000 program, and you get them excited about the benefits of that program. And you say, oh, by the way, when you join our paid level, you get that for free. Well, they're thinking, okay, it's $497 a month. I'll just join that, or $299 a month, whatever. So I'll just join that for a month or two, and then I'll quit. And everybody, of course, you as the coach knows that's how they're thinking. But you get 2 months to really show them the value, to demonstrate, you've got this value, and this is why people won't quit once they're immersed in part of your community. All right, so now you've got a pond of people that are spending money with you, not just a little bit, but a pretty good amount of money. You're now having a program that's very content-based, so you spend most of your time putting together content, a lot of value, guest speakers, a lot of really cool things that the freebie level, again, this preview level is not getting. These people now here are very excited because they're in this place where they're getting great value. Now this pond of people that are like-minded become the place where you take them to the professional level. So the professional level is where you're going to be doing this complete done for you. And you're doing it with people that are already pre-qualified. They already understand the value. remember this important statement that superior marketing eliminates the need largely for professional sales, personal sales, because you already have them pretty much sold. So the people that you're going to bring in at that professional level, their job is to help become the first ambassador into working into that professional level and to make sure the transaction goes through, takes it off of your plate. But that's where the professional salesperson comes into place. Now, when I said eliminates the need for that, what I mean is eliminates the need for going down trying to convince somebody here at the preview level that somehow that they've got to do this, only to have them basically disappear, not go forward with the transaction, burn out your salespeople, basically charge back, whatever the case may be. At this level, they're already excited. They're already so pumped up. They want to work with you. And so your professional salespersons, like what we do with high ticket sales, we actually will help that person onboard into that professional relationship with you. Whether you want 5, 6, or 7, however many you want to deal with, you get to control that. But this is the $25,000, $30,000 level for that type of interaction that you're having. So Janet, those are the 3 Ps. And in doing it this way, you don't burn yourself out, and you are able to actually work with professional salespeople that aren't just selling your deal, but are basically building people into a new relationship with you, or as part of your brand ambassadorship as they bring you in to that professional level of working with you. So Janet, I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. And, I've been experiencing this firsthand. So there's a lot of people out there, coaches who can do Facebook ads, they can put a webinar out there, they can bring in leads, but those leads are not qualified. So, there's 2 things that have to happen on a sales call. One is that person has to believe that program works. They have to know it and trust and believe that. And the second thing is they have to know that it's going to work for them. Now, the job of marketing is to get them to know that the program works. And you do that through your indoctrination of these people. You can do it through programs that you're running that they're paying for at a lower level. You can do it through your Facebook group or other unpaid things that they're in. But most importantly, you don't want to schedule a salesperson to be on a strategy call with someone who wants to talk about what's the program all about, right? They have to know that you are an amazing coach or consultant, and if they work with you, it will work, or at least for other people, it works.
Right, absolutely. And I think one of the other cool things, the way you demonstrate that, remember, if you're pushing people, if your sales team is pushing people, you're already dead in the water. You may get some transactions, but you're going to create burnout. And you're going to create a lot of a not great cultural environment when it comes to onboarding people. So rather than doing that, you've got your preview, paid, and professional. Remember last time we said at the professional level, you have to have full immersion. This is for a period of time. We're building a lot of momentum. This person is just totally immersed. Now, part of that immersion is to get this professional individual that you are coaching to go back to the preview level and pro bono give lessons and talk about what they're learning and talk about the realizations that they're making. Now, why would you do that? Well, because when you're teaching, you're learning. But also when you're teaching down here, you're creating this effect where the people that are in this preview level understand without you saying that there's this other echelon of experience that they can have. Now, all of us have been to a seminar before, and we've seen the people sitting up at the front row that are kind of the VIPs. And we've all said, man, one day I'm going to be there. That's where I want to be. We've all wanted to do. That's just human nature. So you're taking your front row people and putting them in front of your people that are in the back of the room down here at the preview level. So it's actually pulling them. So I can't maybe do this $30,000 package or $25,000, but man, I can do this $400 a month package right now. I'm going to take the next step on the value ramp. And so this is why it's powerful. So get your indoctrinated, your elite people here to coach and to lift up these people in preview mode, and it will pull automatically through your program. So it's pretty obvious once you hear that, but if you keep thinking about this, you'll make sure that your sales process, your need to personal sell will be down, and you can let people like us help load you up here at the high end as much as you want. And if you don't know how to do this, there's strategies and people, coaches, consultants that can help you set up this kind of the sales preparation process, the funnels, the indoctrination sequencing. And there's a specialty because you're not, again, educating, you're selling gently. But if you don't know how to do that, try to find a consultant that can help you with that and make sure that process is doing what it's supposed to do. So Janet, that's it for me today. So
yeah, that's it. It's amazingly great. And, we do have some coaches that we are helping also in that area. So, we're going to talk next week a little bit more about, what our process is to bring coaches on board and introduce them to the salespeople who we have on our staff and what makes us different. So, it's a lot of it is our mentality, but it's also our understanding of making sure that we do close 50 to 80% of the leads that come through, not, and maybe even higher, but we're not like looking for just a whole mass of leads and being able to close 10%, because you're not going to get your best salespeople doing that. So we will carry on again next week. So look for us.
Thanks, Janet.
Thanks, John.
Everybody.
Bye-bye.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody.